Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Randy.
And I'm Kara.
And this is our inaugural introductory episode of Wax Episodic.
Woo!
Yay!
In this episode, we're going to tell you a little bit about what this podcast is, who we are, and why we're doing it.
Who are you? Oh, first, I know who you are. We're gonna. I mean, what is this? We're gonna be doing in-depth, obsessively detailed episode by episode coverage of different series. We're not going to like hop from series to series. We're going to go episode by episode in whatever series that I think is cool. And I tend to like stuff that's kind of dark and intelligent and edgy, and there's a lot of that on TV now, so there's a lot to choose from. And we try to have fun doing it. You know, we talk through plot points, character arcs, themes. I like to talk about psychology, even though I'm not trained in psychology at all. I took a couple classes in community college. Artistic choices, you know, what things that impact us emotionally, things like that. And we also really like it to be conversational with you guys, the listeners. So we will be asking for your thoughts and theories and reactions. And we will, if you send us an email or a voice message, we'll read it or play it and respond on the podcast. That's always a lot of fun. The first series we're doing is Alien Earth, which comes out August something. And I love the Alien movies, especially the first two, and I like the two most recent ones a lot, Alien Covenant and Alien Romulus. I like them all, but well, maybe that's not quite true. There's a couple in there that I'm not so sure about, but there's something to like in all of them, and I really like a lot of them, and I just think they're like I said, dark, edgy, smart, beautiful to look at, thought-provoking. And then Alien Earth, probably the reason I picked that the most is that it's going to be run by Noah Hawley.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite TV creators. He did Legion, which if you never saw that, it's this trippy, brilliant, heartbreaking X-Men spin-off series that I just loved. I podcasted on every episode of that. And then he did the Fargo series, which has, I think,
love Fargo,
5 seasons, and it's fantastic. What would you guys say about that?
The combination of those two shows?
No, just Fargo in particular.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I love that movie, Fargo, and I was kind of skeptical that anyone would make a series of it, but curious. And the first season, I thought, yeah, this really captures the feel of Fargo, but it's different characters, and it's smart, and it's got that Coen Brothers vibe to it. And then he did more and more seasons, all with different characters, and I'm just like, man, this guy is just so good. So that's two things he's done, Fargo and Legion, where he took other characters and made them great. So now he's going into the Alien
That's
universe.
A very good point. Yeah. He's starting with a IP already, and he made something great out of it. So hopefully he'll continue that.
Yeah.
Fargo was one of the more exciting shows, I think, over the last decade for me. Like, especially the season with, oh gosh, I'm drawing Kirsten Dunst, and I'm drawing a
Jesse Plemons.
Yes, thank you. That
where
season,
they met, and now they're married. But
yes, that blew my mind. I loved that season, and I made my mom watch it, and I made everybody I could, convince around me watch it, and I miss it already. Like, I wish I could forget it and go back and rewatch. So when I saw that he was doing this, I was sold.
Yeah.
He did Bones too. He worked 40 plus episodes on Bones, and I love Bones.
I'd be very curious to know which he did, if they're a little bit on the darker side.
When we were doing Legion, somebody kept writing in that had behind the scenes info on the series, and they were super clever. And Rita and I think it was him, but we don't know.
My gosh.
Okay.
I
Well, we'll
love it.
see if
Because he
that
would say
person
things
writes
and it
in.
would turn out to be true, that
Yeah.
would happen that week. Yeah, right.
See if
If
they
it,
wrait in for this show.
Noah,
Yeah.
let us know what you think.
Yeah.
But so we're starting with Alien Earth, and then I think we're going to do the Vince Gilligan as of yet untitled series that doesn't have a release date either, but they're saying late summer or fall. And then we'll see what comes after that. I have a few ideas, but so I'll have probably different co-hosts for each series. But for Alien Earth, it's Randy and Kara here, and I want to know just a little bit about why you said yes to this. I was glad you said yes. I didn't know for sure if you would. Why Alien Earth? What?
I was trying to think what it is about the Alien franchise that I really like, and it's a scary movie, which is in my wheelhouse, but I actually think it's that it does such a good job of world building, and each new movie, I'll say almost every new movie, seems to like peel back another layer of this like crazy species. So, in like the first one, you just see this one, but then in the second one, you've got the whole hive, and then you get introduced to the idea that like, oh, what if this comes out of like a different type of animal or not a human?
Mm-hmm.
And something about that at the age when I saw it, I think was brand new to me, and I was just hooked. Just the idea that something could continue to grow each movie and it's not just something repeating. There are some repetitive elements, but there is also a growth, and you don't really get that with monster movies.
Yeah, I like that because there's this whole thing about evolution that is a theme of this series, and the series also evolves to show different, facets and permutations and things like that. What about you, Kara? Why do you like it?
A lot of reasons. When I was growing up, I wasn't supposed to watch it. That is what I remember at first. And so obviously I found a way to watch it, probably a little bit younger than I should have. But Alien and E.T. were probably my first exposure to, the alien genre. And I was hooked. I love anything futuristic and especially thrillers. So if you mix those together, I'm gonna watch it. And then on top of that, I love classic horror. So Jaws, The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw. This is kind of right up that alley while mixing in, aspects of things like Arrival and Interstellar and some more cerebral, deep thought type of themes, which I love. It's a good mix of everything.
Yeah.
And when I saw this was going to be a show, I was like, yes, I'm in. It's going to be great. I have faith. We'll see.
I hope it's not his first misfire. That would.
I know.
Yeah. I feel like it falls into the similar theme with The Walking Dead, where with this, I don't want the horror movie to end. So I keep wanting to know, like, okay, well, what happens after this? And I hope this show can, like, explore that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Noah Hawley, Legion had some suspense and scares in it, especially the first season. And I'm pretty sure he's got Alien without suspense is no good. You can't have Alien. So I think Noah Hawley's going to be able to do good at that. But what people who don't know Noah Hawley are going to be surprised by is he's also good at kind of breaking your heart or making you think or subverting your expectations, adding a lot of complexity, and all in a really smart way, and very good, I think, at character, at understanding each character and who they are, what makes them tick, and also just understanding what makes human beings tick and infusing that into his characters. So just all the things that I love about great TV, he does, and I know he's going to bring a lot of that to this series, and it's going to be something special. I think, I try to keep my expectations low usually, but I know what he's done, so I think people are going to be surprised by this who are just expecting another thriller.
He's going to make us fall in love with a xenomorph, isn't he? And then it's
He
gonna
might.
die at the end, and we're
You
like,
never
no,
know.
Xenie.
Oh man.
He might do that. I felt, I mean, we're going to be covering the first Alien movie right after this, but I did feel bad for the alien at points in that, honestly.
Yeah.
Me too.
So the next show that, just briefly, as I mentioned, I'm probably going to cover if it comes out in the summer or fall, is the Vince Gilligan Untitled show. He's, of course, the showrunner of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, two of my all-time favorite shows. So good. The series has a working title right now, Waikaro 339. It stars Ray Seahorn, who played Kim in Better Call Saul. It's supposed to have a supernatural bent to it, which kind of makes sense since Vince Gilligan got his start writing X-Files. And it's rumor has it that it's going to be in late summer, early fall. So there's a good chance it'll actually overlap with Alien Earth, which is fine. They don't have to always come one after the other. So that's kind of what we do and why we're doing it. And then I thought we'd say just a little bit about who we are in case you're new to us. Probably most people listening know who we are, but just in case. I'm Jason Cabassi. I've been podcasting about TV shows for 15 years now, since 2010.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was thinking like, I
Crazy.
have more years behind me at this than ahead, probably at this point. I don't know. But I started with The Walking Dead, and I'm still podcasting about The Walking Dead because it never ends. And,
Right.
and had a blast with that show. I interviewed most of the actors. Excuse me. I toured around the country doing Q&A panels with these actors at conventions. I got to be a zombie on the show a couple of times and got shot by Herschel's magic shotgun in the forehead. Then I decided to expand into a network, Podcastica, just sort of thinking that The Walking Dead may end and I would want something to be there still. And we've done somewhere around 30 podcasts about different shows. Some of my recent favorite shows, just so you can get an idea of what I like, are The Last of Us, The White Lotus. That's one of my very favorites. Randy and I podcast about that with my wife, Jenny. Yellow Jackets. I love Squid Game, which its final season's coming out here pretty soon. Andor. I wasn't on that podcast, but I love that show. Handmaid's Tale, Cobra Kai doesn't really seem to fit in there, but it's one of my favorite shows to podcast on. And as I mentioned, Legion. And Randy, Kara have done some podcasting too, so I thought it'd be cool for you guys to talk a little bit about what you've done and enjoyed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Randy, Kara.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Go
Whatever
for it,
works. Okay. So I have been listening to podcasts for 15 years, and coincidentally enough, the first podcast I ever listened to was Walking Dead Cast with Jason
Oh, wow.
and Karen.
When I was 12 years old.
Yeah, I was in law school, and The Walking Dead was kind of my cathartic show at the end of stressful weeks. And one of my friends mentioned that there are podcasts out there that talk about TV shows, and I thought it'd be good. So I found Walking Dead Cast, and I think it took me about 12 years to ever write in at all. It took a while, but after that, I did a couple of guest spots on some other podcasts and a few Podcastica shows, and then jumped in and covered Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Only Murders in the Building, and we had a lot of fun with that. And then now I am doing Still Slaying on Podcastica, which covers Buffy and Angel and anything else in the Buffyverse. So I'm having a ton of fun. It's giving me a nice outlet from my lawyering, I will say. So if you hear, I try not to be obnoxious about bringing up legal aspects or crime or anything like that, but sometimes I can't help it. So just so you know, you might hear some legal feedback from me every now and then.
Hey, we got to bring our expertise to this.
Yeah. Especially to the Alien franchise.
Oh yeah, the law is totally relevant.
It could be corporate law.
It could.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
I didn't realize it, but apparently this was a prerequisite for being on this show. The first podcast I listened to like 14 or 15 years ago was also Jason's
No
show.
way. Oh
Yep.
my
That's so
God.
funny.
Back when you used to have to download it onto iTunes and then put it on an iPod
Hmm.
and listen to it in the car.
Oh
So
man.
it is
Yeah, that's right.
there's a tiny bit of surrealism that I have to remind myself of where I'm like, oh yeah, I wonder what 15-year-old me would have thought of the fact that I'm now podcasting with that guy we were listening to all the time. And then I think serendipitously, I believe I'm using that word right, one of the first times I actually hopped onto a listener chit chat was with the two of you as well, and we were discussing Mindhunter and how,
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
I didn't
and
realize that was the first time you jumped on too. That was so much
yep.
fun.
So,
It was.
and yeah, I've always been into movie making. Most of my career has been like light video and audio things, and I just enjoy entertaining. So, eventually started a show on the Podcastica network, which kind of breaks the typical form. But I have an improv show on there with our friends Jenny and Rob, where we're basically living in the world of all of the TV shows that Podcastica covers. So we're three characters improvising our way through an apocalypse, and it's very fun. And I play an old lady naturally.
That is a fun show to listen to. I will second
Yes,
that.
thanks.
I love listening.
That's Welcome to the Apocalypse, by the way.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Nice. And of course, as I mentioned, you did White Lotus with
yep.
me and Jenny, my wife, and who was it? Wendy said Randy was like the marriage counselor on the show. Sorry, Randy.
I think
That's
we've
funny.
made some breakthroughs though.
Yeah, I think so. Everything's much better now.
Yep.
No, that's been
Oh
such a
man.
great show to podcast on, especially this
Yes.
last season. So I also wanted to just talk a little bit about what the point of even doing this is. I don't know if probably if you're listening, you already know the point, but I got into TV show podcasts with Lost, and that show came around right when podcasting became a thing, and I think it was maybe the first show to ever have podcasts about it, and it made sense because there was a lot of mystery and speculation, and so you wanted to talk to your friends about theories and go on message boards, and so when the podcast started coming out, you get
Hmm.
to hear people theorize and stuff. And there was a podcast, the Jay and Jack show with Lost, and listened to that, loved it, and it made me want to do it too. And my friend Karen and we always watch zombie movies together. So when The Walking Dead came on, I'm like, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. And it was really fun. And I just think when you're really into a show, you're kind of not ready to be done with it once it's over. You want more. You want to talk about it.
Yes.
And a lot of people that listen to my podcast, our podcast, they tell me, yeah, my friends all stop watching the show, or my husband won't watch it, and I don't have
Yep.
anyone to talk to. So that's our bread and butter,
Aw.
people
Yep.
whose friends don't like the same things they do or whatever.
15 million people were watching The Walking Dead, and somehow
I
I
know.
didn't know any of them.
Yep.
Yeah. And what we try to do is enhance your experience of the shows and have fun doing it. And if we do it right, build a sense of community around it. So that's kind of the point, just to make you feel like you're not alone in loving this stuff, and also bringing out things about it that you maybe didn't think of. Or if you disagree with us, and you could write in and tell us, then we'll tell you why you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We'll get into a conversation about it, so that's all really fun. And then finally, I just want to talk about why not just do an alien podcast, because we have a lot of podcasts that are dedicated to one show: Cobra Kai Cast, Welcome to the White Lotus, Still Slaying, a Buffyverse podcast. But I realized having all these podcasts that are just about one show, they're dormant most of the time. And especially these days with TV schedules where they put out 7 episodes of The Last of Us and then it's gone for 2 years, So that means that building an audience, you have to do it from scratch each time. So I just wanted to try having this one podcast where I talk about shows that I'm really excited about, and see if some of you guys will come along from show to show. And I think I've said enough that you can kind of get an idea of what type of shows I like. And also, as we go along, if a lot of people ask for a show, maybe you can influence. I think Severance might be one that we pick up at some point because a lot of people have asked for that, and I really like that show. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And then like if there's a break, we could just go back and start from the first. There's 2 seasons out, right? So we could do those and then pick up with the third when it comes out.
I keep writing in and begging for a Dora the Explorer podcast. So.
We'll see. Yeah,
Okay.
you never know, but I think you should just start your own Dora cast.
It's too complex, yeah.
And I think that really good TV is an art, and especially right now, and the good ones are so smart and artful, and if you study them, you see they're really deep and well thought out. Like that's the thing too. Podcasting on TV shows makes me realize how much I missed before I started doing this, because you watch everyone twice and take notes, and you're like, oh, they really knew what they were doing. All these little details, and make you think about things in a new way. And I just think I found it to be a really fulfilling exercise, I'll say.
For sure.
Take a deeper look at things. So that's our introductory episode. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you dig the podcast. The next episode of this podcast will be the 1979 sci-fi horror classic Alien. Pip pip cheerio. That's our closing line we decided on right now.
Pip pip cheerio.
For now, we'll say goodbye.
Let's get waxed.